This is JordanTower with JT. New song by Mozzarella. Ray, links are below. I like this one right here.
Don't hold your breath, waiting on me to call, you gon' turn purple. Solo vibing, geeked up by myself, just like Steve Urkel. I be slipping, I be splashing, I be diving, I be surfing. CSG that.
Just make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so we're talking about Meek Mill again because he seems very obsessed with Akademiks, and it's weird. It's weird how he's obsessed with Akademiks and Takashi when these guys are really non-threats to him at all. Like, it just bothers him, and he wants to control and get him out of here. When Meek Mill has got to be focusing on his own music, okay? Every hit we've heard, this is just, some people are right about this, okay? Meek Mill, when they go to play his music, even though I don't agree with this, because I like a lot of his albums after this era, they go to play music pre-2014, which means you were in a certain pocket then where it hit a certain way. Meek Mill right now, a lot of music is going under the radar, and they're only paying attention to the songs he does with Drake when he has a lot of good albums. You know, I don't particularly love Championships, okay? But besides that, the Meek Mill albums like DC4 and everything, I like those a lot. Wins and Losses, I like that album a lot. Like, that's probably one of my favorite Meek projects, even though, like, Dreams Were Worth More Than Money, there's some great cuts on there. DC4 has some great cuts. But, you know, he's worried. I think that we're seeing too much of Meek talking about this and that and taking L's, and the whole Drake thing threw things off the rail. He blames Akademiks for that. Akademiks had a good response to him because Meek Mill keeps trying to bully him, calling him, you know, a nerd. I'm going to catch up with him and this. And then Whack 100 is checking him like, yo, dude, you ain't going to do nothing. You keep talking about empty promises, empty this and empty that. Then, you know, Meek Mill didn't do nothing when he saw Takashi. He said he was going to exterminate him. But then they hid behind police. Both of them did. I'm not saying one's tougher than the other. I thought it was a really strategic thing for Takashi to... You got to expect that with this guy. This guy is a troll, okay? He's annoying, and you don't want to get on a troll's radar. Just like you don't want to get on certain people's bad sides, because they'll obsess over responding to you and obliterating you. And Meek needs more friends than enemies at this time. You know, he's solidified as a rapper, but you got to keep putting out big records. I don't care if you hang out with all the billionaires in the world. Very few people can finesse hanging out with a billionaire to make themselves a billionaire, you know? Yeah, you're going to get hooked up with a lot of stuff, but look what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z finessed his way through the situation. There's a lot of things Jay-Z does that I don't like in the beginning with Dame Dash and Biggs, but I love that he was able to befriend all these billionaire guys post-2006 and put himself in situations where he himself now is worth $1 billion. I mean, that's amazing. And Meek needs to do the same thing. Got to be strategic. Joe Budden responds to Andrew Shultz, and, you know, there was Andrew Shultz was taking a lot of shots at Joe Budden yesterday because Joe Budden is picking on him for no reason because he's part of the whole Charlemagne conversation. They're very critical of Joe Budden's moves and everything because Joe Budden's critical of their moves, right? So it's like these guys need to just hug it out because there's really no issues. And Joe Budden feels a lot of people were championing his downfall. Nobody wants to see Joe Budden fail. Joe Budden finessed his rap career into media. First, he went to Love and Hip Hop as like a placeholder to keep him afloat. Then he got into media. The disappointing thing about Joe Budden is that all the stuff he was preaching wasn't real because he let his own people, the guys that were there pre-40 episodes, right? And that's very young for a podcast. I mean, I think they both were doing the podcast within the first 25, okay? And they helped build it with him. And to just treat them like workers after all those years and different deals they went through, that's that's just a little selfish. But nobody wants to see Joe Budden fail as a result of that, you know? They both moved on and they can coexist. But anyways, also Joe Budden responded to like Alex Jones and a bunch of other stuff. And I don't know. Joe Budden's kind of like finding a new pocket. I think his pocket, still talk every week, but do more pull-ups and stuff like that. Those were good. They were in depth. He was asking people things from an artist perspective. I think he should delve more into that. Charlamagne was trying to copy his whole pull-up thing too. Don't say everyone saw that when he did the sit down with Meek Mill and everything. So Joe Budden should continue with that because he was onto something. Kanye West, look at spooky over in Paris. James Harden and Little Baby, inseparable again. Isn't that spooky in itself? James Harden and Little Baby. It's getting spooky with those two. They're always buying each other this and that. You know, you can call it friendship all you want. It's looking a little spooky, I'm going to be honest. But what's spookier is Kanye West with a full mask over his whole face and head. It's crazy. It's different, though. Kanye West is always going to... it's Fashion Week. That's definitely different fashion. Look at this. This is so weird. Can you imagine having a conversation there? Like, Little Baby's looking like, I can't believe I'm having a conversation with a guy with a mask over his whole face. Yungeen Ace talks about the cops and how the cops don't like rappers in Florida. Duh. You guys beefing with each other increases the murder rate, which makes more work for the police. Yeah, so police shouldn't hate all rappers, but they get typecast when there's so much beef going on in Florida, especially in Jacksonville, between Yungeen Ace, Foolio, and all this other stuff going on. They really need to, like, I don't know. You should probably move at this point. Like, you're going to be a target by the police too. So Yungeen Ace should probably move for his own safety. Honestly, he should probably move out of Florida. Georgia's right there. You can move right across the border. Then we got Baby Joe, NBA Youngboy affiliate. After being shot, is getting back on his feet. Is it worth it? Is it worth all the beef? No. And then we got Juvenile remixed a song for some money, I guess. I'm not even going to talk about that because it's weird. We see commercials all day about it. Now I got to have Juvenile remixing his old songs talking about it. I get it. I get the point. That's not going to make anybody else be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go get it. It's like, you're going to get it or not. It's up to people. Just it's like I'm not going to talk about that stuff. You know, it's like people do have the choice. You know, it's up to them. I think it's a good idea, you know, like, especially if you're older. But anyways, it's up to anybody, you know, like I'm in the middle on it. You know, there's positives and negatives. I think you should consult a doctor though, prior to doing it. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys on the next one.
New song by Mozzarella. Ray, links are below. I like this one right here.
Don't hold your breath, waiting on me to call, you gon' turn purple. Solo vibing, geeked up by myself, just like Steve Urkel. I be